Hey, it's Sela Social Studies.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sela Social Studies. All right, so today we're going to talk about something that happened during Washington's presidency, something that's pretty popular, something that actually lasts for the United States for a long time. And this is called his Neutrality Proclamation. Now, what is Washington's Neutrality Proclamation? George Washington and his Neutrality Proclamation of 1793. It's not an easy decision for Washington. What happens here is after the Revolutionary War, Britain and France, like always, are in another war in Europe. So in Europe, Britain and France are fighting. Now, America, we're trying to stay by ourselves now. We're like, hey, we just kicked the British out. The French helped us. We're good to go. Okay? So after the Revolutionary War, Britain and France are fighting. Now, remember what I said. You had those two people. We've covered them already. Jefferson, the Anti-Federalist, and Hamilton, the Federalist, and both of them were selected for Washington's cabinet. We've discussed this. Thomas Jefferson was the Secretary of State. He supported France. During the Revolution, Jefferson spent a lot of time in France trying to get the French king to aid the United States. So he was a lover of France. He said, hey, France helped us win the revolution against Britain. This is why we should help France now. Kind of makes sense, right? Well, as you know, Hamilton and Jefferson never got along, never agreed on anything. So here is Alexander Hamilton. He's the Secretary of the Treasury. Here is his idea. He says we need to support Britain in this war because Britain is one of our trade partners. It is our trade partner. Even though we kicked them out of the United States with the Revolutionary War, we should support Britain with trade. We should aid Britain in this war. So you have President George Washington with his cabinet who are split on the decision who to help. Think about the predicament Washington was put in at that time. You have one person on this shoulder saying, you need to help France. You know, France helped us win the war against Britain. Why would you ever help Britain at all? And then you have this side saying, we need to keep trading with Britain because they are like our lifeline of trade. We need to sit there and make money with these people. So what does Washington do? In 1793, he issues his proclamation of neutrality. Think about neutral in a car, right? You're driving going forward, reverse going back. Neutral, you're kind of just sitting there, and that's what this is. He gives this neutrality proclamation because he feels that the United States was too fragile. It had an army that was too small. We were too weak to join another fight. And if we did join another fight, then chances could be that we would lose a lot of people in this war. Then another country could go ahead and take over the United States after we had just won our freedom. So we are too weak. We cannot join another war effort, especially if it's over in Europe. His decision was to stay neutral, stay out of foreign wars. An American alliance with France was signed by the King of France. However, by this time he has been beheaded. So like that treaty with them, that alliance is out the window now. So Washington really has a good basis to do this. Now, this upsets Jefferson so much, this neutrality proclamation, that he actually resigns from Secretary of the State and then goes ahead and starts his like presidential type bid of when he's going to become president. Really talks bad about the Federalist Party and really what he's going to do to become president. Okay, so Washington's Neutrality Proclamation has a long-lasting legacy in the United States. Remember that George Washington, we said precedents. Washington sets a precedent. Here is kind of like one of those. So subsequent American presidents feel that the United States should follow Washington's ideas and have a foreign policy that remains isolationist. Stay out of those foreign affairs. Stay out of those foreign wars. Neutrality Proclamation that Washington writes in 1793 is so strong. It is so followed that it lasts 124 years until the United States finally enters World War I in 1917.